Guys, how are we doing? This is my favorite thing to do most weekends. I love to break down the UFC cards, and we got 16 straight UFC cards to break down for you guys every single weekend. Starting this off, we had this great card, fight night in Saudi Arabia. Very nice main event, Israel Adesanya and Nasruddin Imavov. But first, we break down the preliminary cards and the preliminary fights. And our first fight is going to be Hamdi on the juice, Abdel Wahab against Jamal Crap Pogues. What a terrible fight to open the card, guys. Hamdi's a drug abuser, steroid abuser, um, and he's still fat. So God knows what that guy's doing with his life. Anyways, Jamal Pogues, he's more of a volume guy. Nothing will really take your head off. He likes to poke. He's like a Sean Strickland at the heavyweight division. Obviously, he's not as good, not as crisp, but Jamal Pogues is all volume. He likes to touch you. Um, anyways, he likes to touch you repeatedly. A little jab, inside leg kick. That's Jamal Pogues. There's no power coming at you. You shouldn't be scared of the power. And Hamdi is just all wrestling. I don't really want to pick this fight, but if I have to pick the fight, I'm gonna go Jamal Pogues. Um, if Hamdi is not on the juice, he's going to be crap. He's not going to be able to get the takedowns on Jamal Pogues. Jamal Pogues is just going to keep him at bay, keep jabbing him in the face. I think Jamal Pogues gets this fight done. Moving on, we got Bogdan against Lucas Alexander. Lucas Alexander weighed in 3 pounds overweight. What a bum. You can't make fucking weight in a sport where that's your only job. Just make weight, man. You're already 8-4. If you lose this fight, you're gonna get cut, and he is gonna lose this fight. Give me Bogdan as the dog in this matchup. I think Bogdan too crisp. He has too good boxing, good leg kicks, good wrestling. I think he's a very good prospect coming out of Dana White Extended Series, and I think he gets through Lucas and Alexander here, even after he cheated. Lucas Alexander is more of a sub guy. He can strike, but his subs are good. But Bogdan more crisp on the feet, so that's why I think the fight's going to take place on the feet. So Bogdan is going to pick this guy apart, in my opinion, to give me him. Moving on to our first ever women's fight in Saudi Arabia, we have the Canadian gal, Jasmine Jazz Delicious, against Mayra Bueno Silva. Everybody knows how much beef I have with Mayra Bueno Silva. Sold 2 of my lays. Yes, you're probably like, why the fuck are you betting on women's fights? After that fight, I stopped. Mayra Bueno Silva, it's just not good. I haven't taken her to win any of my fights. I've taken her over 1.5 rounds. Macy Chasson cuts her open, and the ref just calls the fight. I lose my money. Sure. Give me the Canadian gal, Jasmine Jasovicius, just gonna wrestle fuck her again, and just will cut her open again, just like Macy Chasson did with the elbows. Give me Jasmine Jasovicius by KO or decision. Moving on to Terrence No Chin McKinney against Damir Hadzovic. Terrence McKinney should win this fight. He's better everywhere, apart from his chin. If he gets tagged again by Damir in his chin, this could be the end of Terrence McKinney. I don't see it happening. Damir's just not good at all. If Terrence McKinney can't get this job done, he should just retire if the UFC doesn't cut him. But if he doesn't get the job done, the UFC is going to cut him. Give me Terrence McKinney. He's better everywhere. Moving on to the beautiful, awesome, just the best looking, the best fighter in the heavyweight division. Shamil de Glaze Gaziv. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. Sorry. Shamil Gaziv is a blob. Look at this guy, bro. Shamil Gaziv looks like a blob, bro. Looks like that bubble from SpongeBob. That's what Shamil Gaziv looks like, bro. He's fighting another fatty and Thomas Peterson. Shamil Gaziv's better everywhere in this matchup. Better on the feet, better on the ground, has more diverse attacks. Shamil Gaziv's going to win this fight. My glorious king, Shamil Gaziv. Give me him by any way he wants. I have him by, he can be by KO or decision. We've seen him go 3 rounds. Was against Dontel Mays, nobody any special, but Shamil Gaziv's going to win this fight. Thomas Peterson only has a jab, and he sucks. So yeah, give me Shamil Gaziv. This is going to be a banger fight, in my opinion. Muhammad Naimov against Ken Offley. I think these odds are too wide, to be honest. I do think Muhammad Naimov wins because he's just going to wrestle him, play position, land his little ground and pound strikes. Ken Offley's a dog, though, man. This fighter's nasty. I like Ken Offley. I think he's underrated, but he's he is in hard against Muhammad Naimov, and I think Muhammad Naimov wins. So give me him. Mike Money Davis against Faraz Ziam. You know, we used to know Faraz Ziam as a guy who would just stand the outside, just jab at you, leg kick you, just a point fighter. And then against Matt Frivola, this guy totally opened up into a whole new fighter that nobody's ever seen before. This guy beat the shit out of, God, I don't remember his name, Matt Frivola. He beat the shit out of him. If you guys watch that knockout, fucking flying knee knockout on Matt Frivola from Faraz Ziam, I was like, who the hell am I watching right now, to be honest? Like, this guy, I've never seen him like that. Faraz Ziam was out for blood. That fight was in France. Maybe he was, it was a home crowd and he was all riled up and wanted to put on a good performance, but I've never seen it from Faraz Ziam. So it's going to be hard to pick against him in this fight, but I am going to. Mike Davis is very powerful, has good striking, but the thing here is that Mike Davis has good jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and I think he's going to use that effectively here. A sneaky prop could be Mike Davis by submission, and I'm going to go Mike Davis to win this fight. But if Faraz Zaham wants to just go 8-0 than everybody again and just beat the living shit out of his opponent, Mike Davis, you know, after seeing what he did to Matt Frivola, I wouldn't be surprised, but I think Mike Davis is way better than Matt Frivola. I think he gets him. Give me Mike Davis. We then have a banger fight here. Said Nurmagomedov against Vinicius Oliveira. Everybody knows how high I'm on Vinicius Oliveira. I think this guy's really good. I think he has great knees, great low kicks. His striking is very diverse. He comes from different angles. Um, Vinicius Oliveira is a prospect to watch out for in the bantamweight division. He is fighting Said Nurmagomedov, wrestler, but he is striking as well. He's not just a wrestler bust fighter. He can do both. Said Nurmagomedov likes to stay at kicking range to fight. Um, I think Vinicius is going to attack him from too many different angles for him to even uh, like see. To be honest, so Nurmagomedov is going to get picked apart in this fight. This is a great dog opportunity for Vinicius Oliveira. I like him a lot in this matchup, and I think he wins this fight. Moving on to my boy Sergey Pavlovich against Jairzinho Rozenstruik. You know, we've watched Sergey Pavlovich lose a couple fights in a row now to very good opposition. Tom Aspinall, we know how good that guy is. And then Volkov. Nobody wants to believe me in the Volkov hype train. This guy's so good. He beat Cyril Gane. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Cyril Gane robbed him in that matchup. The judges were closing their eyes, putting on their blindfolds to watch that fight, apparently. Volkov won that fight against Gane, and that shows you how good Volkov is. Sergey Pavlovich is power. He was once known as the White Francis Ngannou. Sergey Pavlovich can knock out anybody with a fight, but he looked gun-shy in his last fight against Volkov. I don't know if that's the matchup he was with. He was fighting his friend, or he's fighting a lengthy kickboxer, but he just could not get it going at all in that matchup. But this is a different fighter. This is Jairzinho Rozenstruik. He likes to be all technical as well, just like Volkov. The difference is he's not 6'7". He doesn't have an 85 reach advantage. Sergey Pavlovich is going to knock this guy out. He's going to get back on the train, and I'm going to keep going on that train, on that Sergey Pavlovich hype train. Give me Sergey Pavlovich by knockout in this matchup. Moving on, this is one of the best fights I've ever seen put together by the UFC, just for the fans, right? We have Shara Bullet Magomedov against Michael Venom Page. This will be one of the best stand-up matchups you're ever going to watch in the UFC. Shara Bullet Magomedov is one of the craftiest strikers I've ever seen in the UFC. This guy's kicking is the best I've ever seen. His side kicks, his oblique kicks, his question mark kicks. It's just the angles he attacks his opponents at is just something you'd never see, nothing you'd ever even think about attacking as well. He likes to fight at kicking range, which is important in this matchup, in my opinion. And I think this is going to be no wrestling at all. And I want to move on to Michael Venom Page here, his opponent. I like this guy a lot as well. I think he's very good. Michael Venom Page likes to fight at more than kicking range, which does help Shara Magomedov because he does not like when he's getting pressured. He does not like when somebody's in boxing range in his face. And I think Shara Bullet can side kick him, can oblique kick him to victory in this matchup. He'll throw his question mark kicks. He'll throw his straight punches from different angles. And I think Shara Bullet can get this match done. Michael Venom Page has his weird style where he stands like 2 times kicking lengths away from you, and then he just lunges in within a second. It's very fun to watch. Very odd fighting style from Michael Venom Page. But in my opinion, I think Shadow Bullet's gonna have the advantage in this matchup. I think he's too diverse. I think his striking's too clean. I think he's gonna beat Michael Venom Page by decision in this matchup. Moving on to the main event, we have Israel Adesanya against Nasruddin Imavov. It's gonna be a good fight. I think the odds are a bit close, man. I really do. I think Israel Adesanya should be a minus 220 favorite. I think Israel Adesanya is much better everywhere than Nasruddin Imavov. Striking is not even close. Israel Adesanya will pick this guy apart if Nasruddin Imavov wants to stand. Israel Adesanya, we know how good this guy is. I don't care if he's lost his last two. He lost against my dude, Dricus Du Plessis. That is my guy. Everybody knows I like that guy a lot. And he lost to Alex Pereira. Doesn't even count. Nasruddin Imavov is not any of those fighters by any means whatsoever. Imavov's path to victory here is by wrestling. If he doesn't take that path, he's going to get knocked out. So give me Israel Adesanya in this matchup. I don't know why the odds are this close, and I'm going to take Izzy all day, all night. I will see you guys next week. Or like throughout the week, we'll be doing basketball bets. You're going to see a Super Bowl bet next week, even though it's the end of the season, sadly. We all know football is my favorite sport to bet on and watch, and sadly it's over, but we're going to keep it going on UFC and NBA and see what we can do from there. Peace.